Hello, and welcome to our another Monday live stream. And it's exciting today because I've got another guest. I've got Chris from Chatbot Labs, who's going to be telling us all about what chatbots are and how they can help us on our social media. But before I jump over to Chris, just to remind you all, if you are watching on YouTube, please do give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and subscribe to my channel for top tips and advice on social media every Monday live at 12:30. And again, if you are watching live, please do say hello, introduce yourselves, let us know about what your business does. We'd love to hear from you and we'll give you a shout out. Again, if you are watching in my Facebook group, then please do leave your name or click through the StreamYard link so we know who's actually saying hello. So hello everybody, please do say hello. And this is Chris, and I'm going to hand you over to Chris, who's going to introduce himself and tell us all about chatbots, something that I'm really interested about because I'm always talking about bots on social media, but not necessarily chatbots. I don't know that much about it. So, we said we've got a hello from my Facebook group. Hello. We don't know your name because you've not clicked on the StreamYard link, but hello, Facebook user. Okay, Chris, go on then. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Chris Bain. I am your sort of common and garden techie. I got into software developing back in the days of Y2K. I came out of uni a bit early because Y2K was going on and there was plenty of IT jobs.
What about Y2K?
The Millennium Bug.
Oh God, yeah, sorry. Year 2000.
Year 2000, when everything was supposed to break and it
That's right.
Really.
I was dressed as Princess Leia.
Right. Did that fix it?
And my husband was Darth Maul. Yeah, fixed it. Scared off it. Yeah.
So that was my launch into a proper software career, and then it's been sort of just usually dev jobs are about 1 or 2 years, so you just move on after a little while, and some places you stick and you grow and you just go along. And then I got to a certain point, sort of like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was just sort of rinse and repeat. There's only so many different ways you can take data from a database, stick it on a screen before you get be like, oh, this again. And just about that time, this sort of chatbot technology was just coming into its own, and you could start to do really interesting things, and you could start plumbing together different systems. So I checked on my password manager before, and I have 255 logins to all my different systems. And wow. I guess that's because I work in tech, but I think everybody these days has at least 10 things that they have to log into.
Passwords.
Yeah. So I thought, well, it'd be great if you could just like get information from over there, and how would you do it into one sort of interface without having another website that you log into? So these chatbots were coming into their own. So I did a little test to see if I could connect it to, what did I connect it to? I think like a CRM system. And then I tried to connect that to Office 365, and it turned out the more you can sort of connect it to different things, the more powerful it gets.
So like a chatbot is basically like an office assistant. It's like a virtual robot that does things for you to make your life easier.
Yes, yeah. It's like having a conversational interface is a techie word, a conversational way of accessing lots of different systems, as it were. So you can say, how many invoices have I got due next week? Has this invoice been paid? Or how much is a parcel to China? Stuff like that, stuff that you could ask.
I always just thought it was a chatbot would just respond to your customers, but actually it does a lot more than that.
Yeah, there's different flavors. You can have chatbots just to work with you like a virtual assistant. So you can have them in the office, so to speak, and yeah, they can do your admin. I think I did my maths on this, and if it can save you 5 minutes 5 times a day, so I think we all log into different things. 5 minutes 5 times a day over a year, it's like 108 hours.
Wow.
So that's like 10 working days of just doing automatable sort of tasks, and
Yeah.
I think that's where I get my buzz from of automating something, and then you never have to do that again. You can just ask for it. But then on the other side, you've got customer support, and now a lot of businesses are moving online, or already have an online business, but now they're forced to be 100% online. The activity of the customers is now sort of 24, could be 24 hours. And that's sort of something that a chatbot could fix, because they don't go to sleep. They're always just there in the background, ready to either answer questions or do stuff.
So I suppose it's like we've got Chris from Three Pugs Gin who's watching, and so I suppose she's got customers who are ordering her products 24/7, aren't they?
They are, yes, and you can imagine at scale they've got questions coming in left, right, and centre, and it's probably the same sort of questions over and over, be it cocktail recipes or maybe allergen, not so much for gin probably, but allergen information. Has this got this in it that I can have? And rather than having all this stack up in your inbox for the next morning, you can just redirect them to the chatbot, and hopefully it can answer sort of most of your queries. The sort of common garden chatbot is a Q&A type thing, but the user doesn't have to go and find their question on your website somewhere. They can just ask. And I think we're all used to a live chat option on larger companies now, where you can talk to someone, but this is a nice way of having live chat, but not having to sit behind it and answer the questions yourself.
So having a live chat with a robot.
Yes.
Hey, so does it troll the answers from your website, or do you kind of program in frequently asked questions?
Both. There are technologies that can sort of scrape your website and get the information out for you, and then you can top it up with questions that you'll get all the time anyway. So you can build your own little knowledge base, and then as you get a question that it doesn't know, you can then answer that and then add that to your knowledge base. So it sort of essentially learns over time. So yeah, they're a great tool for a sort of question based problem. There's also it can also do stuff that you can't. So as well as not going to sleep, it can communicate in different languages. So if you have a large Japanese customer base, you could have a knowledge base for your Japanese customers or your Turkish customers, and it will quite happily converse with either, and so that will save you a translation job when the emails come in. And
so does it recognize the language that has been typed in, and then
some do
respond via we don't need to know Turkish and type in Turkish responses for the chatbots to do it?
Not necessarily. You can use the wonder of Google Translate to try and get the rough answers through there. Some chatbots will detect a different language and try and switch over. I would probably recommend either buying a translator to translate if you already have a knowledge base, paying for a translator to translate that over, because sometimes machine translation, especially with Japanese, the grammar is really so different to English. Even the best translation tools fall through, but if you can answer with sort of human vetted translations, then I think those customers will go away. They'll use that as a that'll put your company above there if they can get the answers they want.
Yeah. So what type of sectors, what type of customers are really good for chatbots?
I think the retail sector is really good, because I think there's lots of questions about products. You could, instead of having to find the products, you could say, I'm looking for I don't know, an evening gown, and that could redirect you to there, and it's just a bit more engaging, a bit more interactive. Okay. And you can use that as a jump point to say, but we also have a special offer on this one at the moment, and you could sort of add engagement through there. And a lot of, not just at the moment, but restaurants and eateries are a big opportunity, because although there are booking apps out there, if you channel it all through your chatbot, you can answer questions, book tables, cancel a table, and now with the sort of people having to book slots even at cafes, you could manage that with the chatbot as well, and not have to have your pad and pen with you at all times to because I think I spoke to somebody and because we're all so diverse these days with different social media channels, you've got requests coming through Facebook, through Instagram, Twitter. So the only core place is your little pad and pen to collate them, and then it goes back to it's a lot of work to try and deal with all those requests.
So it pulls them all in together into one. Well, it responds to them all, doesn't it? And then saves you having to do it, basically.
That's the goal. That's what I get my kicks mainly from the scaling of time saving and giving people that 3 weeks of working time back, or not even to replace that time, but if you have an extra hour a day, you can spend more time with your customers. You can increase the quality of your customer service if you can hand off the day-to-day everyday stuff to a chatbot.
So if the chatbot doesn't have the answer, how does it respond?
In a varying, some of the less brilliant ones that you will see will just sort of like shrug mine, no. Will shrug their shoulders and go, I don't know, or computer says no, and it's frustrating, and it makes me wince every time I see it. But I would always try and have some sort of human handoff, so that if it doesn't know the question, then it will say, I'm really sorry, I don't know. And either start a live chat session if you can, or say, I've emailed the staff, or can I have your contact information and we'll get back to you. Because I think that's what people using it, they don't mind that they don't have the answer straight away. I mean, it would be ideal, but if they don't have the straight away, they still feel like their query has been dealt with. So once you have this sort of human handoff, I think people will still feel like they've done their transaction, and the information is going to come back to them. But yes, always that's one of my tips, is to always have a way of either getting back to the customer if they can't answer it, or have some fancy mechanism which I've built so that if somebody doesn't know on mine, it'll send you an email with a link in it, and you can just reply and send it straight back. So even if you're out and about on a train platform, you can go, oh yes, we are open on the bank holiday, send. That'll go through, adds it to the knowledge base. So the very next person that asks that same question, it's got it. I'll cover this question, and you're good to go. And you get a real sense that it's learning then.
We've got Paul. Paul said that he tries to cheat the chat box to see if it's human or not.
Yeah. Oh, these top tips are coming out organically. That is true. I do that myself. I actually spoke to a guy on Facebook, and he always responded with like a short message and then a long message and then a short message. I was like, "Are you a bot?" But yeah, I think whilst they are still new, it's always better to be upfront about if it's a chatbot. It's like usually I call mine, I don't know, help bot or something with bot on the end, just so that people are, because it's a bit weird sometimes when chatbots are trying to be all human and over friendly and trying to be human.
Yeah, just like what Paul said. Excuse me for a moment. What if I goes to a human who actually knows the answer?
Yeah, it often falls through. The facade falls through straight away. So you might as well say, I'm a bot. I can do this, this, and this. Other than that, I'll refer you to the staff. So it just avoids the sort of cat and mouse game of trying to make it seem so human when really nobody. I don't think anybody's that bothered if they can get their query answered, or I need a returns label, or how much is this, or is this in stock. They don't really mind as long as they can get an answer. But if you're trying to fake it, they're not that clever yet.
No, and I think with customers as well, I think if you're up front and say, hi, I'm Bex's bot or something, not that I've got chatbots yet, but I'm Bex's bot, you go, fair enough, I'm speaking to a robot, rather than a robot trying to pretend to not be a robot, to be human, because people find, So what that comes to my next question then. What sort of volume of inquiry should be getting through your social media to basically to justify having some chatbot installation to work with you to do some chatbots?
I think there's I get very few messages myself at the moment, but I think there's a small amount of value because I will be able to my chatbot would be able to respond when I'm asleep, or it could at least manage the sort of conversation. So I have all these conversations in the same place. So you have all conversations coming through all the different channels, and you can keep your messages all in one place. But I would say if you're getting sort of like 5 or 6 inquiries a day, or you find yourself having to stop your business work to do responding to inquiries and find yourself responding to the same questions, it's a niggle with me. I think mainly because I'm really lazy, and I'll do things once and I'll do it twice, and then I'm like, oh, I can't. Do I have to do this again? And I'll try and find a way. Thankfully, with the tools that I have, I'll find a way of not having to do that anymore. So not necessity, but laziness is the mother of invention for me.
Time saving. It's been what's the word?
Efficient.
Efficient. Thank you. Yes.
So yeah, if you find you're getting the same questions, or you're having to be sort of in 2 places. I know there's some office space that's got 2 locations, so you're not physically in the one place. Then a chatbot's ideal, and that's the sort of area I'm aiming at, is for the really small to medium. I think that's still a wide range, but probably micro. So even if it's a one-man band or a plumber in his van who just wants to be able to have people book him in for viewings or to fill his calendar, so he doesn't have to keep stopping work to go, yeah, let me get my diary. So I wouldn't say there's a massive limitation on size, but if a lot of your on minimum size, but I think if you find yourself repeating the same information out, and you only really want to deal with the difficult ones or the complicated work, that would be a good way of cheaply offloading it to something else without taking on another member of staff, because there's a lot of cost and paperwork involved in another person, and that could just get you the middle way there before you definitely need a full-time person. You could use this to automate, well, and even when you get your other person, it'll just allow you to scale a bit easier.
So if people need help with chatbots, then Chris, how would they get in contact with you? And
I'm all over the place, I think. LinkedIn. I'm now on Twitter after a wonderful course by yourself. At Chatbot Labs on Twitter, or find me as Chris Bain on LinkedIn. And yeah, I'm at the moment I've got a chatbot thing, and I'm excited. I keep trying to find as many different businesses as I can with as many different problems and exciting stuff to solve, because I get the buzz when I can say, you don't have to do that anymore. And so yeah, throw me a curveball. It's great.
Well, what I'll do is I will put Chris's details in the link after we've finished this live video, so that you can click through and get in contact if you need help with chatbots, which sounds fabulous. So thank you. Thanks, Chris. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's been really interesting. If you've got any questions, please do put them in the chat now. Oh, Emma says hi. Emma Billington.
Oh, hi.
So please do put any more questions in the chat. Again, if you're watching this after it's been live, please do put questions in the chat, because we will be watching the chat and we can answer the questions after we've been live as well. So next week, I'm going to be talking about Facebook and Instagram competitions, how to run a competition on Facebook without getting banned. There are so many companies at the moment running competitions on Facebook, like Tag and Share This to Win. So many companies, and some of my companies are coming to me at the moment. They've been cut off. They've been shut down from their Facebook and Instagram pages for running competitions such as this, and you get no warning. So next week, I thought it'd be really useful if I told you how to run a proper competition on Facebook without being spammy, because Facebook hates that and they have such strict rules. So join me next Monday at 12:30, where I'll be discussing that. And in the meantime, if you do need help with Facebook advertising, I've got an online workshop happening starting tomorrow, actually, and I have still got a few places left. So if you're wanting to advertise on Facebook or Instagram, we're doing an hour each day, Tuesday to Friday, on Zoom, and I'll get you set up with an ads campaign up and running by the end of the week, and that's just £99 per person, so it's great value. So I don't think we've got any more questions, but if you got any questions after the live stream, just pop them in the chat. I just want to say a huge big thank you to Chris for coming along today. I found it really interesting, and
thank you very much indeed.
Some work that we can do with chatbots. I love little bots, and I love your logo as well, with a little bot in a speech bubble.
Me too. Bot as a speech bubble. It was I think it was the best 99, well, almost the best £99 I've ever spent. Other than your courses.
Of course, thank you. Well, thank you everybody for watching today. Please do give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for lots of regular advice and tips on social media, and I will see you next week. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks all.
Bye.